My name is Sam Vinikoff, and I was born in London, 1919, and that means I'm 87 years old. And I arrived in Miami in 1957. My first impressions of the Big Cypress was the vastness of the prairies out there. When you look across the prairies from the Turner River Road, let's say, and you look towards the west or the east, no matter where you look, you see these vast prairies going on forever. And at the same time, you're looking at these wonderful wide views of the sky and the clouds that you never see when you lived in a city all your life. All you can see is the tops of buildings, which hides all that beauty. I've had a tremendous amount of different experiences out there with seeing a deer just come out of nowhere and disappear just as fast, things like that, or a bear, to see what a bear can do to beer cans at the hunters' cabins out there. And I've seen some wonderful sights of when the birds congregate around a pool of water which is teeming with crawdads or shrimp, and how they interact together. And again, to see an osprey with a fish in its talons and the way it twists the fish around to show you the way the bird was going, the fish was going the same way. Things like that really interest me. And of course, the scenes that one sees in the early morning mists, and the way the whole area looks, let's say, in a storm. I could be out there painting one day in the sunlight, and I'd have my paints in front of me on an easel, and I've been painting, and then about 2 feet away from me, there's a raging storm right there, and I'm sitting here dry as a bone. That's something that you see out there. What drives me mainly is color. The colors that one sees out on a prairie, the colors that one sees when you look across a prairie in the wintertime, when there's no needles on the cypress, and there's a sort of a halo above the top of a strand which becomes like a purple color. And I think what it is that you're looking at the purple color of the bark and in the tree, and then you see the blue sky at the back of it that makes you see a red and blue, which makes the purple color. And you can actually see that color just in your eyes. It's really not there, but in your eyes you can see that color. Being fortunate enough to be taken out by the rangers in swamp buggies and airboats, and even been fortunate enough to go up with them in the helicopters, looking around at different sites to see the water levels and things like that. I've been very fortunate, and I must say that the rangers have been most helpful, because sometimes a ranger will see something that I don't see, and he might point that out to me, and I've been educated. That is something that I've often heard from people. They might say to me, well, what do you see out there? What is this? Oh, it's just grass and trees and snakes and stuff like that. Well, it's a lot more than that. If people would slow down and really look around them, get out of your vehicle and walk through some of the trails, and you might find absolute paradise. You might see wonderful things like a hawk flying down on a mouse and things like that. Or like I've said about the osprey going down in the water and coming up with a fish. Things like that. Or you might be very lucky enough to see a spoonbill with its beautiful pink and reddish colors, looking, waving his head backwards and forwards from side to side, looking for fish, things like that. And there's so much to enjoy. You really feel that you've been given a taste of what it must have been like many years ago when people came out here and they'd never seen anything like that. Just like my eyes were opened when I came to Florida. The light that you see there sort of lights up everything, and there's a certain glow to everything that the sun shines on, whether it be the wing of a bird when a bird turns in flight, or whether it be a fish that just happens to be a surface in a pond, things like that. The sun hits it and stuff like that. And the light, of course, for a painter is the most important thing. As the sun comes up and goes over the trees and over the prairie, when you watch a streak of sunlight going across a prairie and you see the shadows of the clouds moving along with it, it's just a wonderful sight. It nearly always, in almost every one of my paintings, that light in the horizon where the sun is hitting just that strip of land there will always be lit up. To be a part of it is really wonderful.